Good morning. So it's brought down in Yoel that V'achatam Ochel V'Seveya V'Leyeveshu Ami Lo'elam. So it says a double achila. V'achatam Ochel V'Seveya. So basically, has two kinds of eating. And what is the idea of eating? That's the idea of a carbon. And every carbon has a double situation in it. There's the aliyah, the elevation, which comes through the carbon. As we know, the secrets of the carbon is much higher, reaches Ein Sof, no limitation at all. So we see that by everyone, is needed a second birur, a second refinement. Even Aaron HaKohen needed a second refinement. But Aaron HaKohen had that koyach to do it, the strength to do it also, to bring your karbanis, everyone's carbon. So we see by Aaron HaKohen, his karbanis is called with the word zeh. And the reason for that is because it was connected to the Gula Asida. Zeh karban Aaron. Because when Mashiach comes, Mari Betzbai, you're about to point to Mashiach with your finger and say Zeh. So we see over here is that Aaron HaKohen had that power in him. And that is through his bittul, his nullification to Hashem. So that's why it says Dafka by Aaron HaKohen, this idea of the second aliyah. And when we complete the first birur, well, what is the idea of eating and it's a birur? One thing is that the person gets elevated. Another thing is that the food becomes part of the human being. First it was a tzemeach, something that grew. Afterwards it comes into a medaber, into a human being. So it gets elevated. So this birur, Aaron HaKohen had the koyach to do this birur in a way of zeh. Now each and every yid has a certain source. Some people are zera behema, and some people are zera adam. What's the idea behind it as follows? It's brought down that zera adam, the ones are from Atzilus. They come from Shema. And there are other neshams who come from zera behema, that comes from Shem Ban. So what's the idea behind it? Is basically you need to have a birur. And then when Mashiach comes, we'll have this birur, will become Zera Adam also. Which, by the way, most neshamas are Zera Adam, Zera Behema nowadays. It's a lower level. Moshe Rabbeinu, on the other hand, is bitul, shema, bitul, nullification. Like he says, v'nachnu ma, who are we? That's the idea of bitul. So Aaron HaKohen has the koyach to do this second birur, the second refinement. And that is after we complete our first refinement. Baruch Hashem, we're very far from the first refinement because we refined everything already. The Avodah Birurim, refinement for the coming of Mashiach, was done already. We finished all the Birurim. Now will come the idea of the second Birur, that it says that even the Neshamas Chadashis, the new Neshamas, new souls which will come in Yemais HaMashiach, will also need that Birur. Because in times of Mashiach will be at a much higher level than we are now also. And then we continue with the pasuk Leiveshu Ami Lo'ilam. So does it come in a time? Or a person has to accomplish this? So it's brought down that a kala turns her face around by a meal and eats. What's the reason for that? Is because she is b'shleimos, she's complete. But she's embarrassed because everything comes from her husband. She turns around and eats. So we see Ashpa could come also with embarrassment. That we get everything from Hashem. It's like called Nama de Chsufa. Bread that is a shame. That if you get everything from Lamaila, there can be embarrassment. So through the Avodah, our Avodah, refining everything, doing our job, and why are we in Golus? Not why we were in Golus. Why are we in Golus today for 10,000 or 5,000 years? Or over 2,000 years. But we never have the third Beis HaMikdash yet. So Be'ez Hashem, through our Avodah of a Birur, in the time of Golus, like we know, when Moshiach comes, there'll be in the cave of the Sefer Geber. Women will be above the male, the man. The guf will be higher than the neshama. Like it says that the neshama will get sustenance from the body. Nowadays we get sustenance from our neshama. When Mashiach comes, the soul gets sustenance from the body. Because it will be after refinement. To be pure. So therefore it's not necessarily only someone which fell through that he needs this refinement. All you need is refinement. We have to all go through 2 birurim, especially Yemei Mashiach. When then we'll be in a much higher level, we'll have to go through another refinement to reach that level, to be in that level. So Be'ez Hashem, through our Avodah in time of Golus, whatever the Avodah may be, but do Avodas, do service of God, which will refine you, which will make you a better Jew. Internalize the Chassidus you're learning. Internalize the Nigla you're learning. That we should be true to our name as being Jewish people. And Be'ez Hashem will come to the time when we'll actually be able to say, Zeh Hashem kivinu loi v'yeshienu zeh havaya. Zeh havaya, this is God. Kivinu loi v'yeshienu zeh havaya, kivinu loi v'yeshienu. That we say twice Zeh, that will be in the time of Mashiach. We'll have the second birur, and Be'ez Hashem will have the true and complete geula, true and complete refinement. And Be'ez Hashem will bring the third Beis HaMikdash in fruition, in completion. Take it from Yad Mamash now. Long live our master, teacher, and Rebbe, King Moshiach forever and ever. Long live our master, teacher, and Rebbe, King Moshiach forever and ever. Long live our master, teacher, and Rebbe, King Moshiach forever and ever.